Alright, hockey fans, I've got a challenge for you. Can you guess which NHL player earned the nickname "The Puck Goes Inski"? The answer is hilarious and kind of tragic, but that's just one of the legendary NHL nicknames we're breaking down in this video. From the Great One to Jumbo, we've got a lineup of monikers that capture the essence of hockey's greatest characters. You'll laugh, scratch your head, and maybe even learn a thing or two about hockey history. Get ready to dive into the world of hockey's most creative, bizarre, and sometimes downright ridiculous nicknames. Let's drop the puck and start this nickname face-off. When you think of Wayne Gretzky, you probably picture a hockey legend with mind-blowing stats. We're talking 894 goals and 2,857 points. Numbers that make most players look like they're still in Pee Wee leagues. But get this, the nickname The Great One wasn't dreamed up by some marketing genius after Gretzky had a trophy room full of Stanley Cups. It all started when he was just a 10-year-old kid dominating the ice. Imagine little Wayne, barely tall enough to see over the boards, running circles around players twice his age. A local newspaper reporter watched him score 10 goals in one game and dubbed him the Great Gretzky. Talk about pressure for a kid who still had to finish his homework. That nickname stuck to Gretzky like gum on a skate blade. It wasn't just a cute label anymore. It became a challenge. Most of us would crumble trying to live up to being called the Great One every time we laced up. But Gretzky, he just kept getting greater. By the time he retired, Gretzky hadn't just lived up to his nickname. He redefined what great meant in hockey. He shattered records, changed how the game was played, and left everyone else eating his ice shavings. Now, you might think no other hockey nickname could top the Great One. Well, hold on to your mouth guards because our next legend's moniker is about to zoom into the conversation. Let's just say it involves speed, golden hair, and more style than a figure skating competition. Bobby Hull, nicknamed the Golden Jet, was a force to be reckoned with on the ice. With his flowing blonde hair and lightning-fast speed, he left defenders in his wake and goalies quaking in their pads. Hull's impact on hockey went far beyond his looks and speed, though. He introduced the curved stick, an innovation that changed the game forever. The curved stick gave Hull's already powerful slap shot an extra edge, making it even more difficult for goalies to stop. Some thought it gave him an unfair advantage, but Hull was just ahead of his time. This new stick design allowed players to shoot with more accuracy and power, reshaping how the game was played. Hull's blend of speed, skill, and innovation paved the way for future stars. He wasn't just a great player, he was a trendsetter who pushed the boundaries of what is possible in hockey. And speaking of pushing boundaries, our next nickname belongs to a modern-day sniper who's giving Gretzky's goal record a run for its money. Let's just say he's great in his own right, with a number that's anything but unlucky. Imagine a player so dominant he gets compared to Gretzky, but with his own unique flair. That's Alex Ovechkin, the Russian wrecking ball who took the NHL by storm in 2005. With his wild hair, missing tooth, and a shot that could dent steel, Ovi looked to be more like a rock star than a typical hockey player. Critics said his unorthodox style wouldn't last. Boy, were they wrong. Ovechkin's nickname, the Great Eight, is a clever play on his jersey number and his incredible impact on the game. He scores goals and bulldozes through defenders like a T-34 tank on skates. Now, Ovechkin is chasing the all-time goal record, a feat many thought impossible. With every blistering one-timer, he's rewriting hockey history. The Great Eight isn't just a cute nickname. It's a warning to goalies everywhere. Brace for impact. Speaking of impact, our next nickname also packs a punch, but instead of a Russian tank, think more along the lines of a Canadian cannon. Get ready for a blast from the past that changed hockey forever. From Russian tanks to Canadian cannons, we've covered some hard-hitting nicknames, but the most explosive nickname in hockey history came from a newspaper writer? Let's wind up for the slap shot that started it all. Bernie Geoffrion's shot was so powerful, it made goalies wish they'd chosen a safer profession. Geoffrion perfected the technique, turning the slap shot from a party trick into a lethal weapon. Goalies started sleeping with one eye open. A clever sports writer watching Bernie unleash his cannon described the sound as boom boom, the slap of stick on ice, then puck on boards. The name struck faster than a puck to the mask. Geoffrion's shot wasn't just for show. He played a key role in Montreal's dynasty, racking up 6 Stanley Cups and 2 Hart trophies. His real legacy? He changed how the game was played. After Boom Boom, every player wanted a slap shot in their arsenal. Now, our next nickname might not pack the same punch, but don't let that fool you. This gentle giant's impact on the game was anything but small. Joe Thornton, nicknamed Jumbo, is a paradox on ice. At 6 feet 4 inches and 220 pounds, he's a mountain on skates, but his finesse is anything but oversized. While most players his size used brute force, Thornton prefers to dish out assists with surgical precision. The Jumbo moniker isn't just about his stature. It's a nod to Jumbo the elephant, famous for being both massive and gentle. Thornton embodies this duality, using his soft hands to thread passes through impossibly tight spaces. For over 2 decades, Jumbo Joe has been spreading the puck and joy across multiple NHL teams. From San Jose to Toronto, he's become a beloved figure in hockey. Fans marvel at how someone so big can make the game look so effortless. But if Jumbo Joe is hockey's gentle giant, our next player is more like its dazzling illusionist. Get ready for some serious razzle-dazzle on ice. Patrick Kane's nickname Showtime isn't just a catchy moniker. It's a perfect fit for his on-ice persona. Kane coined the nickname himself, shouting it after scoring big goals. It stuck, and for good reason. When Kane gets the puck, fans lean forward in their seats. His soft hands and sharp vision make magic happen. Remember that 2010 Stanley Cup winning goal? Kane was the only one who knew it went in. That's Showtime in action. Kane's made a career of jaw-dropping plays and highlight reel moments. He could probably stick handle in a phone booth if you asked him to. At 5 feet 10 inches, he might not be the biggest guy on the ice, but his impact is huge. Showtime captures Kane's flair for the dramatic, his clutch performances, and his ability to entertain. It's not just a nickname. It's a promise of excitement every time he steps on the ice. Next up, we're shifting gears from Kane's razzle-dazzle to a player whose nickname is all about size and power. Get ready to meet a real-life big rig on ice. Pat Maroon's journey from late-round draft pick to Stanley Cup champion is one for the books. Nicknamed the Big Rig, Maroon has become one of the NHL's most clutch performers, proving that size isn't everything in hockey. At 6 feet 3 inches and 225 pounds, Maroon's a force on the ice. But this big man's got surprisingly soft hands. His nickname, the Big Rig, stems from his St. Louis roots and his knack for hauling his team to victory. Maroon's biggest claim to fame? He's the only player in NHL history to win 3 straight Stanley Cups with different teams. He lifted the cup with St. Louis in 2019, then again with Tampa Bay in 2020 and 2021. Talk about a good luck charm on skates. The Big Rig's become a cult hero in the NHL, loved for his clutch goals and everyman charm. He's living proof that sometimes the best players are the ones who show up when it matters most. Up next, we've got a player whose nickname is all about delivering, but in this case, it's all about serving up some tasty sauce on the ice. Get ready for a helping of pasta, hockey style. From Alfredo to ziti, pasta comes in all shapes and sizes, but on the ice, there's only one pasta that matters. David Pasternak's nickname is simply a play on his last name. Cooked up by his Bruins teammates, it struck faster than you can say al dente. Pasternak burst onto the NHL scene like a pot of water coming to a rapid boil. This Czech sharpshooter quickly established himself as one of the league's most lethal goal scorers. What really makes Pasta a fan favorite in Boston was his chemistry with line mates Patrice Bergeron and Brad Marchand. Together, they formed the perfection line, a trio so in sync they could probably pass the puck with their eyes closed. Pasternak's infectious smile and goal-scoring antics have made him a beloved figure across the NHL. Speaking of food-related nicknames, our next player's moniker might make you hungry for some freshly baked goods. But trust me, there's nothing stale about his game. Artemi Panarin's journey to NHL stardom is quite the tale. He went undrafted and started in Russia's KHL, where he was good but not exactly turning heads. Then in 2015, the Chicago Blackhawks took a chance on him. Suddenly, this undrafted free agent was playing alongside Patrick Kane, and he definitely made the most of it. Now, about that nickname, the Breadman, it wasn't because Panarin's passes are super smooth or anything like that. It was actually Kane who came up with it. He noticed Panarin's last name sounded a bit like Panera, the bakery chain. Kane started calling him Breadman, and it stuck. Panarin's game is anything but soft, though. He's been lighting up the scoreboards across the league, from Chicago to Columbus to New York. The guy delivers impressive stats night after night, proving that he's one of the most valuable players in the NHL. Not bad for someone who was once overlooked by NHL scouts. Speaking of valuable players, our next nickname belongs to a guy who took the game very, very seriously. So seriously, in fact, that his teammates couldn't help but poke a little fun at him. Get ready to meet Captain Serious himself. Jonathan Toews earned the nickname Captain Serious for his laser-sharp focus on the ice. He's the guy who looks like he's solving complex math problems while weaving through defenders. But here's the thing. Off the ice, Toews has a pretty wicked sense of humor. His teammates came up with the nickname as a playful jab at his intense game face. During Chicago's Stanley Cup dynasty, Toews' leadership was key. He led the Blackhawks to 3 championships in 6 seasons, proving that sometimes being serious pays off big time. Captain Serious became a perfect mix of compliment and joke. It showed how Toews could balance his game day intensity with being a likable guy in the locker room. Not an easy feat when you're surrounded by a bunch of jokesters, but Toews pulled it off like a champ. Now, if you think Toews' nickname is a bit on the nose, just wait till you hear about our next player. His moniker is so unfortunate, it's almost hard to believe. Let's just say it involves a lot of pucks going in the wrong direction. Steve Baczynski's NHL career was a nightmare that lasted an entire month. His time with the New York Rangers in 1942 was brief but unforgettable, and not in a good way. The poor guy led in a staggering 6.1 goals per game on average. That's right, 6 goals every single game. Sports writers couldn't resist the wordplay on his last name and coined the nickname the Puck Goes Inski. It spread through the hockey world faster than a rookie's first goal celebration. Fans would chant it every time he took the ice, which probably didn't do wonders for his confidence. Baczynski's NHL career lasted just 9 games, but his nickname? That's eternal. It became a cautionary tale, a bit of hockey folklore that still gets mentioned in the locker rooms today when goalies have a rough night. Now, if you think Baczynski had it rough, wait till you hear about our next player. He turned a potentially negative nickname and turned it into a media empire. From fourth-line grinder to social media superstar, this guy's story is nothing short of bizarre. Paul Bissonnette, known as BizNasty, had a modest NHL career, but his impact off the ice was far greater. He gave himself the nickname as a playful jab at his limited ice time, not realizing it would become his trademark. While his teammates were racking up points, Bissonnette was amassing followers. His candid, humorous takes on hockey life made him a social media phenomenon. Bissonnette's witty online presence opened doors beyond the rink. He transformed his digital popularity into a thriving media career, launching a successful podcast and building a following that surpassed many NHL stars. His journey demonstrates how in today's NHL, a player's personal brand can sometimes outshine their on-ice performance. BizNasty's story is a prime example of how the game has changed. It's not just about what you do with a stick and puck anymore. Sometimes it's about what you do with 280 characters. Speaking of unique personalities, our next player's nickname is all about bringing a new flavor to the league. Get ready to meet the guy they call Papi. You've heard of Crosby, Ovechkin, and McDavid. Now there's a new superstar in the NHL, and his nickname might surprise you. Austin Matthews, the Arizona-born sniper, quickly became the talk of Toronto with his impressive goal-scoring abilities. But here's the interesting part. His nickname is Papi. It's not what you'd expect for a guy who grew up in the Southwest. The name actually comes from Matthews' Mexican-American heritage on his mother's side. His teammates started calling him that, and it stuck faster than a puck to ice. Since joining the Maple Leafs, Matthews has been making waves in the NHL. His unique background and playing style are helping bridge hockey's past and future. He's got the skills of the legends, but with a fresh flavor that's all his own. From the Great One to Papi, we've seen how hockey's nicknames have evolved right alongside the sport. These monikers are catchy labels that add flavor to the game we love. We've only scratched the surface of the NHL's nicknames iceberg, though. There are tons more out there, each with its own quirky tale. Puckheads, why not share your favorite hockey nicknames in the comments? Maybe it's a classic we missed, or a local legend only the true hockey fans know about. And with young guns like Jack Hughes tearing up the league, we might be on the verge of some fresh nickname gold. The Jersey Devil. Anyone? No? Okay, well, maybe we should leave the nicknaming to the pros. But one thing's for sure, as long as there's hockey, there'll be nicknames that make us laugh, cheer, and shake our heads in disbelief. Check out these other Beer League Hockey Guy videos and please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more quality hockey content.